I mean, that's the thing, right? We can come back later.
Right.
Speaking of coming back, thanks for
that's a good
the
point.
warning there, JP. I didn't
Are
hear
we
that
back?
countdown.
We're
at all.
live.
Welcome
I'll
back.
do it
everybody.
live.
Hi, internet.
Just
We were all
pulling
just
the cord.
eating and drinking and being
Yeah.
offline.
It's a good thing we weren't saying mean things about chat. All right, well let's continue. Let's carry on. So yeah, I think that was the last scene, right? Is the fence that was pulled open, and then we faded out on that. And I think this is where we jump, rather than like you continue to explore and stuff. We jump to the next day or whatever. And I think we are at what does morning look like at the twins' household normally? What's the routine here? Is Dad up and like helping, or does he leave like lunch for you and he's already gone off to work? What's your morning situation look like when we cut into you?
I don't think it's a dad is kind of doing things for. I think it's now we're on our own. It's like, here's your $20 for your lunch card, or make it and break it. So I think Dad is actually in his typical morning, like woke up 20 minutes late, like trying to get his tie on, like, I got to get back out.
Yeah, and I feel like he's like comes into the kitchen like, oh shit, I gotta make him lunch, and I've already like the lunch is made, and I like have coffee ready for him. Like,
oh no, check
this
this out. So let's get sci-fi with it. So you have this house. The reason Dad can kind of abandon you is because the company he works for has given you this like household automation system. So the house, like when you come in. Yeah, when you come into the kitchen, the refrigerator like starts to hum, and it's got this very obvious like 80s sci-fi, like it's got an undercarriage light that's all like blue, and the kitchen greets you, but it hasn't been set up properly yet, so it does so in Japanese, right? So it says to you like something. It says like good morning, children in Japanese. Yeah. And then the coffee maker turns on and starts to like bubble. Some cheerful music starts to play gently in the background. And you walk in, and your dad, has just left like a folded, like $20 bill on the table. And he's not a smart enough parent of two yet to realize he should have left two tens. So instead there's a 20, and one of you has to be responsible for it. So who's the first kid up, or do you get up at the same time and end up in the kitchen together?
I feel like I'm the first kid up.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like I'm definitely like I've taken on that I'm independent. I don't need him to take care of me. Like I have this, it's fine. So like he's rushed into the kitchen, and I was already up. I made my own breakfast. I was fine, and he left 120, and I just okay, here you go. So then Carter comes in the kitchen, and I'm already like.
Do we pan over to you like with the Thunder Bay Times up in front of you, and you like look it down? There's like eggs and toast already.
No, Adam, listen to this. What if it's one of these fucking things where, because she's a little smaller, and it's always been a problem, right? She's like the younger of the two twins. Mm-hmm. What if these sensors, like she's just under the threshold of sensing?
I'm too childlike. I'm still too childlike where like there's like parental locks on it where I can't get into the shit.
Well, no, and this too, like dad only set one of you as being like a user. So you couldn't open the fridge, you couldn't make coffee, you couldn't do anything. The whole system is locked to you, but not to your brother. So you had to wait for him to get up.
Yeah. And
he's the one that the lights all come on, and it's like good morning.
Dark. It's dark.
God.
Feels bad, man.
Yeah, feels B.
Feels terrible. Okay, and here comes Carter fucking eating already, and I've been waiting for an hour for him to get up so I can eat breakfast before we go to school.
God. Yeah, and so on the table, in the middle of the table, the little like hologram projector comes on, but it's showing a weather report for like Sapporo, Hokkaido. And the two of you are there, and then you hear a good old fashioned knock at the front door.
I'll get it.
Okay.
Is there a doorbell, but there's a knock anyway?
I mean, the house probably is going to eventually have its own security system, and I think we follow you through the living room, and there's a huge box with a bunch of Japanese characters on it, and you think it's a box for a TV, but it's hard to say. There's a bunch of stuff. Dad got a whole bunch of new things shipped to him by the company, but hasn't had the time.
Big. God, that box would be so big.
It'd be huge. Yeah, it takes up the whole middle of the TV.
And there's like a delivery person there.
Well, no, there's just someone knocking at the door. Maybe that's what you assume. Maybe you're like, oh, great, another delivery. Because this has been happening.
Yeah.
you know.
That's exactly. I'm like, it's probably one of those, another thing. And I go to the door and open it up.
Pull the door open. We see instead a member of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. We don't see him. He's not wearing the red regalia. He's not a Mountie particularly, but there's a cop there. He's young, like he's probably. I mean, he's an adult to you, but to us as an adult audience, we would recognize that he's not. You know, he's a younger cop. He's got his badge and his hat, and he's got his jacket on, but it's a little warm. You can see sweat kind of beading on his forehead, and he's holding a styrofoam Tim Hortons cup, and you open the door and you see him there.
Can I help you?
He looks down at you, and he says, "Is your dad around?"
At that point, had he left yet?
I think he's gone. He's gone.
You just missed him, and he actually was running late this morning. Can leave a message.
And he's like, well, you know, I'm be real busy today. Actually, I just wanted to ask. I just wanted to ask you about something. And he nods and he moves his cup to the other hand and he puts a hand out to like shake your hand. And he says, he's like, you know, we don't even need to get your old dad involved. I just need to ask you a couple of quick questions.
I'm like, okay.
I feel like
do you shake his hand?
Yeah, I shake his hand, and I like
poisoned. You fall in a pit trap. No,
I'm dead. But I totally think this must be about Dennis, right? I'm like, what the hell, like?
Oh,
right?
Yeah, the chain, the loop, right?
I feel like he's been gone and not come back enough that like, and I can kind of hear this.
You can hear him having a conversation with someone with a lower voice.
Yeah, and I feel like I make my way to the door, and this young officer he's not just a young officer. He was like the pool lifeguard. Like he's been around. I know who he is. I'm like very familiar with them. And he's not like, you know, Officer X to me. He's just like Greg.
Yeah, his name is Darren. Darren Hayward.
Yeah. So
he's got a younger sibling like around your age.
So
new to the force.
I walk up to right behind Carter, and I'm like, Darren, hi, hello, and
he tips his cap. He tips his cap to you. And he's like, oh no need to worry. Nothing's going wrong. Just need to have a couple of quick questions for your brother. And he looks back to you. And then gives you that kind of like the body language is like, can I come in, or are you gonna make me stand outside?
Oh yeah, you can come in. Sorry.
Okay.
Have they met? Does he know that he knew we were twins?
I mean, he's looking at the two of you.
Okay.
So yes,
okay. All right.
Okay.
I didn't know if this was a surprise because you know Carter's new.
So he comes in, but because this is Canada, he only comes in as far as the very inside of the door. Otherwise, he'd have to take his shoes off. And he looks around at all the boxes and he's like, you shucks, you kids must be real excited about all this stuff, these Japanese gadgets. I got an Atari in my garage somewhere. Never have time to play the thing.
I think and I'm just like almost a bit like, well, I'm sure they're a lot cooler if you can actually use any of them.
He shakes his head. He's like, nope, not computer stuff for me. He shrugs kind of like embarrassedly. Takes
at that point like
his coffee.
So are your questions about the stuff?
Right.
Or...
Yeah. He's like, oh yeah. I'm sorry. You two must be in a big rush to get to school. Listen, I just I had some questions. It's about I got a picture here someplace, and he pulls out a folded up picture, and he unfolds it, and he hands it to you. And on it, you can see on the picture, it's a picture of a familiar looking woman. It's Dennis's mom, and she's holding a dog, and he says, you wouldn't happen to have seen her recently. I mean the dog. I mean, Mrs. Bouchard. It's her picture. The pup there in the photograph.
I think I kind of like look at Aisha for a second, and then I look back and I just say, no, I haven't seen actually either of them.
And he shakes his head and he says, well, I just I thought to come by and ask on account of I know you and that Bouchard boy, you didn't have the best. You got off on the wrong.
You're not suggesting that maybe I had something to do with this just because we got in a little fight at school, sir?
He puts his hands out and he realizes like he's gonna spill his coffee. He's like stops. It's like, listen, I just we're just going around. We're just asking some questions.
I know I'm the new kid here, but are you really gonna make my job harder here, sir? Everyone already hates me.
Adam, can I add one thing? That's legit, right?
Please. Yeah.
So he does spill some coffee. So right in the middle of this super tense situation between this proto-adult and this child, when he puts his arms out, he does spill coffee. And then a tiny Roomba-like device comes out and cleans it, but for the entire... Yeah. It comes all the way out and cleans it and then pulls back and it's still a little bit dirty and then it pulls over and cleans it a little bit and then returns, but it takes like 45 seconds.
And it's loud. It's super loud.
Well, no, but what's great about
no one can speak.
Right, and what's great about it is that it continues. The machine continues to apologize.
Yeah.
They couldn't engineer it to be quieter, so they engineered it to automatically apologize once it reached a certain decibel level. So it's continually saying in a little robotic chirp like "gomen nasai, sumimasen," and like vacuuming the floor and playing a little song. And so yeah, there are these awkward he's like, two of you just kind of look at each other like.
So once this vacuum, this Roomba gets done with its apologizing, I'm gonna break the silence and I look at the officer and I say, since he's been here, I have been with him the entire time, and you don't honestly think that I would let anything happen to a dog, right?
Why don't we
you know me enough that nothing would happen?
Why don't we roll? Why don't we have you roll to see if you can convince this officer just to leave you alone, that this is a dead end. I mean it is, but he doesn't know if he believes that. So
charm is what I would do.
Yeah, that sounds like charm to me.
No.
Okay, so now you have two options.
Too?
You just need one six on any of those dice, which you did not get.
Boy.
Now you have two options. Well, three, I guess. If you can fail, or you can push yourself and take a condition and re-roll, or you can spend one of your luck points, of which you have a few.
I'm gonna take a condition.
Okay, what condition are you gonna take?
I'm gonna take. Can I take an exhausted and an emotional exhaustion thing?
Yeah, it's up to you to describe how this exhausts you. But yeah, okay. So this is exhausting, dealing with this situation, standing up to your brother. Okay, we'll roll again. Let's see if you succeed.
Try one more time with heart, with charm.
Yeah, make sure you click the box first.
Yeah, I clicked it. Yeah. Exhausted.
Okay,
yep.
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
And then I did.
There you go. Okay.
Yay!
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
All right.
Yay.
So I think that the awkwardness of the situation and being talked to like this by a 13-year-old girl, Officer Hayward, he's like, look, I'm you know what, it's fine. I got lots of and he fakes just squeaks the radio. He's like, I gotta go. You kids better get yourself off to school. It's getting late. And kind of backs out the door, and takes one last longing look at the big TV. He's like, shucks, heck of a thing, and turns and walks back down towards his car. We have a moment between the two of you. What's your reaction in this moment as the subservient vacuum, the hover robot, recedes into some hidden corner?
I mean, I probably go like, well, I don't know if it needs like to be said, but I'm pretty sure we found that dog's collar or something the other night.
Yeah, but
Right, and to
technically-
help reinforce it, one of you is inexplicably holding it. Like it's the prop is in the scene now.
Yeah. I don't suppose we should have told him about this.
Yeah, but here's the thing. We didn't find the dog. We found the collar. So technically, we weren't lying. Technically, he asked if we had seen the dog, and we didn't see the dog. We saw the collar. And if we showed him that we had the collar, he would have immediately thought we were guilty, which we're not. So we couldn't have told him the truth because then you would have gotten in trouble because everyone hates you already anyways.
Hold on, are you a little sister in real life?
Yeah, I'm actually the youngest of 4.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Okay.
And what's great here is that you've got a 2-year head start because fuck the police won't be out till 1988. So, nice work.
I mean, I think I probably say like we better let the others know about this.
Yeah, dude, if Chip, he can just
that's
fake a
perfect.
letter. It's fine.
That's that statement that we better let the others know about this. That's a perfect cut to the next scene, and we're at the school. We are at St. Patrick High School in Thunder Bay, Ontario. And we get an establishing shot that shows us not only the school in its normal state, right? This is one of these classic, like shot from above. It's a cool late spring day. Kids coming into the school. There's the big Canadian flag on the pole. But in the parking lot, where all the teachers' cars are, we see one vehicle, and this is the vehicle that we kind of pan by as we come down, and we'll get the walk by from you when we cut to you. We see a vehicle. It's a black sedan, one of those kind of obviously out of place, like this is an official looking vehicle. Yeah, like a black sedan. And what we get a lingering shot on is the Minnesota license plates on this sedan. Get a shot of this Minnesota license plate, and then you walk by, and then we pan up to the group of you, and this would be the cut into, like, I don't know if you're explaining what happened to them, or if like you've just finished, or if you're like, well, I'm going to tell you about it later. Yeah, we get this ominous sedan shot, and then up to you. So yeah, who's speaking? What does this scene look like? It's the group of you.
I'll take the lead, and I'll just be like, wait, did we get that guy's name?
Yeah, his name is Darren Hayward.
Darren,
Officer
that's
Hayward.
right. Hayward. I'm like, guys, you know that collar we found last night? It definitely was from the dog, and they're looking for the dog. They came to our house. They asked me. In fact, he even said, like, you got in a fight with Dennis? It's totally you that did it. I mean, he practically just basically accused me right there.
Thunder Bay is so small. I can't believe a cop showed up at your door because you got into a fight with an asshole.
No. The cop came to the door because he was asking about the dog. The dog is missing. We know
that, Carter, and like hand on shoulder. We're the ones who found the dog tag.
I'm worried. I don't want them to think we took the dog, and then also like, what the hell happened to the dog?
I think we're okay though. I convinced him that you were fine because I was with you. So I think he's fine. I'm not that worried about it, but we all need to make sure that no one says anything about us finding the collar, because then they're going to think that we lied, which we kind of did, but not really.
Did we keep the collar? Do I have the collar?
Well, they have it because they had it in their other scene, right?
Right.
Yeah, I just handed it back to you then.
Right.
Yeah.
So I wanna ask while this is happening. So Colton, you've been quiet. You're in the scene. Maybe you're taking a little bit behind. Did you take a sample? Like, do you own a chemistry kit? When you went home, did you examine the fur? Do you have information about that now, or are you just like along for the ride, listening to what everybody else is saying? Where's Colton at?
Oh, right
What's his
here.
jam?
I think the situation here is that when everybody turns around, like I've been scared the whole time until I found something to be curious about. And then that other substructure in the brain, like the one that is slightly askew from every other person on Earth, is engaged, right? It's like the fear is just like the spinning flywheel, and then the teeth connect on that green gray fur. And so I think as everyone else is leaving, he is turning around, and then he stops and grabs some and puts it in his pocket. So I think it's entirely possible that I've been up all night, so that when I am there in this meeting where everybody's talking about stuff, I'm sort of asleep on my feet. And then until the prospect of trouble happens, right? And I say, where's the collar?
We have it. It's in my backpack.
We shouldn't have it anymore.
Yeah, but what are we gonna do with it? Now we can't get rid of it.
Yeah, we can.
What are you gonna do
You'd be
with
surprised. You'd be surprised.
It's called Thunder Bay. We go to the bay and we put it in the water, and then it's gone.
Have you ever read The Lord of the Rings?
I've read it like 6 times.
We're talking about a Ring of Power, Mount Doom situation.
This is just a dog. I don't get any power. I just get annoyed.
It's a dog. It's named Shoo Shoo. It ran into the forest.
If it were just a dog collar, no police would have been at your house.
Chip's right. Who sends a police officer for a missing dog? A kid? A brother, a sister, a mom, a dad, but a dog?
I don't know. Maybe Denny's mom is fucking Darren. Okay? Calm down.
That was very crass. We're gonna get in trouble.
Yes, indeed. And the percentage chance likelihood of trouble increases every moment the collar remains in our possession, Aisha.
Chip,
so
have you slept at all?
Not a wink.
So the group of you have walked into the building. You're in the main hallway of the school, and I think there are kids milling around. And there's a moment where you see, when you come in, you see Denis, and he's by his locker. Like, he just closes the locker and he looks over at you, and he looks. Something is off about him. You can't square it like just by giving him a look, but something funny is going on. Like, he looks over and he doesn't immediately sneer or like look at Quinn like, oh, hey, I'm gonna go turn on Le Francais. Like he just closes it and just kind of stares at the camera for a second.
Is he covered in gray-green fur?
He is not. No, he's wearing an Edmonton Oilers jersey. And
you said Dennis, right?
Yes, yeah, that's who you're looking at.
My rival.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
indeed.
Yeah, and he looks at you but doesn't say anything. Like, he doesn't come over to harass you.
Does he have like a crew of toadies, or is he by himself? Like normally. versus today?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And today, does he have people around him, or is he alone?
He is by himself right now.
I think I would notice that. I think I would say, like, guys, this is really weird. He didn't say anything. Not even after that. Like, you'd think he would say something about the dog or accuse me of doing it or something. Like,
Do you think he thinks we actually did it? Do you think he's like scared because he thinks that we took his dog or you took his dog?
I'll go talk to him. Just
Okay.
That's
I
a good
walk
idea.
past and like look over my shoulder at all of you.
Okay.
Hey, Denis, and I say it the right way.
Yeah. And I think you notice that he wasn't staring at you. He's just staring into the middle distance.
Right.
And he's standing there with his hand in his locker. And you walk over and you're like, hey, buddy. And he kind of starts a little bit and like blinks hard.
Something on your mind?
Why don't you roll to empathize with this kid? Why don't you see?
Yeah, I definitely will do that. Because I'm just trying to get a vibe from him, right? I'm not charming him here. I'm not trying to
exactly
convince him of anything. I'm just trying to like feel him out and
so in the same way the last move that you made, this one gives you some questions. This is read a person, right?
Cool.
So you can ask it while you're talking to him, but go ahead and make the roll.
One success.
Okay. All right. So you've got a success. So that means you can ask any two of those questions. It's on page 75. Any two of those questions while you're talking to him. Do you want to start with one, or do you want to just talk it out?
Let's start by talking it out because I don't have the questions up quite yet.
Okay, perfect. So
the thing that I say was like, what's on your mind?
And he kind of just blinks at you. And you can see that his eyes are kind of red, like he's been rubbing them, or like you don't know Denis to have allergies, but maybe.
Right.
And he looks at you and he's just like, He says in not very good French, you obviously, and leans awkwardly on the
Oh
locker.
no.
Okay, I want to know. So from this list, I want to know what he actually feels.
He's really upset about something. And he's covering it by being a sleaze, right? He's just like, oh, I'll just do the thing I always do. And you're going to react the way you want because the way you react to this is you leave. So he's trying to Austin is aware of this as the author of his character. Your character can interpret this however you want. I don't know that a 13-year-old girl would necessarily pick that up that subtly, but
Right. What I do is move. I take a sidestep left so that my body is blocking my friends behind me, so he can only see me, and it creates this brief moment of privacy.
Yeah.
And I say, listen, school's almost over. Everything is going to get back to normal soon. What's happening? I've never seen you like this before.
He scowls and he's like, what do you mean? I'm the same as I always am.
Your French is worse.
He laughs and he's like, listen, the French they teach us in class is not actual French anyway. When I move to Montreal, they're going to teach me proper French. So I'm not even listening to what the teachers say anymore. And he kind of leans in his locker like, yeah, see, there's two kinds of French.
How can I make him tell me the truth? That's my other empathize question.
Point it out to him that he's upset about something in a way that he can't deny. Show him that you know that he's upset for a reason. Yeah.
Right. Does anyone have any ideas here? Because the things that I was going to do involve all of you, but I've blocked you out of this scene.
No, this is good. No, it's good though. It's good that you did that though.
Yeah.
Could you put your hand on his shoulder and be like, listen, I heard that your dog went missing and I'm really sorry about it. If you want to talk, I'm here. I feel like just telling him you already know that there's a direct issue.
Yeah, I think
exactly. So you remove the question that you want to ask from the abstract.
Mm-hmm.
And the body contact. Okay. And the body contact of
it's like I actually it's not just hand on shoulder, it's like I take his hands, both of them in my hands.
Oh.
Okay.
More by the wrist than the hand, actually. Sure. It's higher up. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I whisper quietly in French. I heard that Shushu went missing. Are you okay? Is your mom okay?
Roll. Let's have you roll to charm him.
Sure.
You get an extra die.
Okay.
I don't know if the sheet doesn't prompt you, you can just /R 1d6 after.
I'll just add another one to charm for this roll.
Yeah, there you go. Just put your charm up and then
perfect.
Nope.
Ooh, okay. So he's gonna shut you down. This isn't gonna work unless you spend one of your luck points and reroll or take a condition reroll.
It's cool either way, Austin.
From a
story perspective,
even if it doesn't work here, it's good. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have it not work. I'm just gonna fail here straight up. So
here's what happens.
Get a condition if I fail, right?
It's not that you don't take a condition. Okay. You just don't get what you want. But I think it's not that you fail. You say, I heard Shushu went missing, and he's about to speak when there's a squeal over the speakers in the hallway, and it's not the morning bell. It's the principal, and the principal is saying. There's a change in his voice. He's got a weirdness in his voice that sounds like he hasn't practiced this, right? He's not reading off a piece of paper. And he's like, everyone, please go to the gym. There will be a special morning assembly. Yes, everyone to the gym. Morning assembly in 5 minutes. Good morning, everyone. And then he goes to screen. You can hear him start saying something to someone else, and then it goes off. Mm-hmm. And then
and then does he just walk away at that point, basically?
Yeah, and I think everyone starts to that kind of cuts the scene off. So we cut to the gym.
Cool.
And it's just a small your school is you can fit all the students in the gym. It's a small school, and you're all on the bleachers. Is everyone sitting together?
No, I can't remember. I can't sit by.
That's
Carter.
right.
Yeah.
Because remember, it's probably going to be by grade.
And homeroom or something, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I'm only there, I'm only in this school because it's an advanced placement thing.
Oh, right.
And so I'm probably gonna be near AIDS or something like that. I'm probably gonna be existing in a specific, more controlled location. People are going to be handling me gingerly, I suspect, right?
I'm probably with Aisha though, and I might even say like, does this happen very often? I don't think I've ever been to one of these assemblies.
Yeah, this has never happened before, so we should probably not go too far apart from each other, just in case. I don't know.
I think we
This
all
is
have
weird.
eye contact with each other, right? So we can give each other side eyes and like concerned glances just in case some shit happens.
I feel like Quinn, you're across the
Yep.
bleachers, like you're across the room.
Yes,
so
yes,
like
yes,
we're
yes.
like looking directly at you from across
Mhm.
the gym.
Yeah.
Mhm.
For this scene to be its best, we have to be able to look at each other.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
for sure.
The camera is
Absolutely.
arranged such that
Yeah.
even though there would be students in the way, there's a clear
Yes.
shot. Yeah, okay.
Totally.
Yeah.
We use
Yeah.
focal tricks to make it look like you're
Mhm.
essentially sitting together across. Okay, so we get that shot of everybody, the establishing shot of everyone in the crowd. The kids are all playing grab ass and like shouting about stuff and not paying attention. And then on the other side, there's the microphone that's been put in the middle of the gym with the long cord, and we see one of the teachers, maybe the AV club, teacher, taping down the cord. Someone trips over it. We get that last little bit of tape, and we can see the principal talking to two men in black suits. They are visually indistinct from one another. One of them, I guess they're both wearing government issue suits and shoes, and the principal is explaining something to them, and then looks at his watch, and then walks over, and we can hear the click of his shoes on the floor. As
I
he
asked
approaches.
the girl next to me if I can switch seats with her so I can have an aisle seat.
She
Please.
she looks at it and looks at you, and she just shrugs. Whatever.
I say like, it's that time of the month.
And she nods and she's like, okay, fine. And like you kind of like jumble over each other as the microphone like squeals a little bit, get the tapping on it, and
Mhm.
and the principal says, now we have some special guests here at the school today, and I would love it if you'd show your St. Patrick's High School discipline and pride by sitting quietly and listening to what these two fellas have to say. Don't worry, this assembly will not cut into your important study time, and we'll have you back in class in no time, everybody. So just stay seated, and he like looks nervously over at the two men, and then he's like, and he kind of gestures, and I think he gives a little like, let's give a round of applause for our new guests, and kind of like claps a couple of times, and the kids, some of them are like, yeah, what the hell's going on? It's general kind of awkward clapping as these two guys walk up to the mic. So one of them, he leans over and he says a little too loud, like the mic gets gainy and kind of squeals a little bit of feedback, and he's like, hello there, children, children of this school. My name is Agent Gygax, and this here's my good friend Agent Arneson. And Agent Arneson kind of leans over to the mic and he's like, hello, children. And he says, we're up here from the beautiful state of Minnesota. That's your neighbor to the south. That means we're from the United States. You kids, anybody in the audience ever been to Minnesota before? And a couple of kids like raise their hand, and like one of them is like, my mom's from North Dakota. And he's like, now we've been speaking with your principal. We're here from Minnesota to we're looking for something, and while we can't tell you precisely what it is we're looking for, we just wanted to let you know that everything's going to be a-okay, that your neighbors from the south are here to look out for you, and that your town's safety is important to us and to your principal and to the whole of the Thunder Bay police force. But we need your help, kids. Isn't that right, Agent Arneson? And Agent Arneson leans over. He's like, "That's right, Gary." And
in Colton's mind, he's wondering if there's a Minnesota on Mars.
Right. And Agent Gygax says, he's like, so my friend Agent Arneson and I here, we've come on up as a bit of goodwill for our northern neighbors. Now, what we need you to do, kids, is if you see anything strange, I'm talking anything at all, whether it's a car you don't recognize in your neighborhood, or it's somebody you ain't ever seen in this town before, you tell an adult, and they're gonna tell the police. And the
I raise my hand.
And he doesn't notice right away, and then Agent Arneson nudges him, and he's like,
And I'm like
here.
hitting. I'm hitting my brother like. Shh, get it.
Right, and so they're all looking at you, and then Agent Gygax is like, well, this is a bit it's a bit unorthodox, but I wasn't planning on a Q&A, but yes, you there, the little one up front.
There are 2 men from Minnesota here, sir.
So the teacher
I want to emphasize that Colton is not making a joke.
No, totally.
Right.
Yeah. There's definitely some laughter in the audience. Agent Arneson is like, patting the sweat from his forehead. Your principal immediately looks like someone has just put a noose around his neck. And he looks at the teacher who is supposed to keep you from doing things like that. And she leans over and she says something to you. She isn't mean about it. She isn't like, shut up, Colton.
No.
She actually is like, oh, that's a good question. And she feels like she's a little uncomfortable because normally you'd ask her, but she wasn't paying attention that you raised your hand,
Right.
etc. And Agent Gygax, to his credit, he laughs and he's like, oh, that's precisely what I'm talking about. The little eagle-eyed fella up in the front there's got it just right. Now, I don't want to be a stranger, and if it's easier for you, you can think of me as your Uncle Gary, right? Just old Uncle Gary up from Minnesota, and this is Uncle Dave, and the two of us, we just, we want you to trust us, and if you want to get to know us any better, we're going to be at your school. We're working out of your principal's office for the rest of the day. You can come on by, and we don't have to be strangers.
Can I have snuck out?
Yeah, let's have you roll to see your sneaking out.
I want to go to their car.
Nice.
It'll be easy to find.
Yeah. So sneak, right? I think it's like during the uproar of the laughter around around the question.
Yeah.
Is like,
while
okay,
you're
well, we'll see.
while you're inadvertently getting the sneak away. Totally.
Okay.
All right, you got a success.
That's one success.
So you managed to slip away. So while the two of them they kind of finish the thing. We fade away from that scene, and you've already snuck away. Maybe we see the door click, latch shut, and then
the aisle seat that we'd seen before.
Yeah, and we cut to you. Where do we see? Where are you?
Here, Adam, hold on. Austin, I don't want to fuck your scene. I want to help it if I can.
Yeah.
As Uncle Gare makes this entreaty to the youth, I want to suggest, sort of under my breath, to this teacher, who is the handler that I have basically at this high school where I don't belong at all.
Right.
And I tell her, it's 2 sentences without looking at her. I'm still looking down at Gare. I say, I get very nervous when adults act like children. And then I say, again, I haven't moved. My body posture is completely iron. I say, I need to go to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to join Austin's awesome scene.
Mm-hmm. Right. Good.
Okay.
Come on.
Because I got tech shit for days.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I think she's like, oh yes, of course, and helps you get up and heads for the door. You're already sitting at the very edge where this is the easiest thing to have happen. And she'll take you out into the hallway and to the bathroom, and then you will be responsible for sneaking out from there. But cool. Okay, so Quinn has a bit of a head start. So Quinn, where do we see you? Are you already at the car? Do we see you walking across the parking lot?
The shot that I have in my mind is like me walking over the seal of the school that's in the lobby, and like from the top down, and the swinging doors open up and then swing back, and then we just hang on that while Colton catches up. But by then I'm already, and then it comes down behind him, and we see out into the parking lot, and the light adjusts from being inside to outside, and then you just see me kneeling down at the lock of their car, trying to get in. But I think Colton probably gets there before I do anything myself here.
Right, because ostensibly there was some time where you had to think about this.
Right, and I'm I've walked around. In fact, maybe that's what I do is, I get you said there are tinted windows, right? But yeah, I case it. I want to investigate this car to see, I check I look through the windows as best I can to see if there's any blinking red lights, to see if there's an alarm on it.
I feel like all that shit comes later. Like I
Okay.
don't think
That's like the
it's normal to like I don't think it's normal to have
Fair.
like a lock on your.
I
Yeah.
didn't know what weird future tech it happened in.
True.
It is
Listen,
just like a
3M.
regular sedan. Like they're not flying
Okay.
a hover vehicle.
Probably unlocked too,
Just
because
saying.
nobody used to lock their cars back then.
So you're
True.
you're out there. There's there's the vehicle there, and there's two empty Tim Hortons like cups in the cup holders.
Okay.
And-
Are the doors open?
Love it.
No,
Love it.
no, they're locked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you hear a sound behind you. And when you turn, you see Colton.
So I should roll for my sneak, right?
Yeah, let's see what the sound is. Yeah, you hear a sound, and you turn, and this is when we
Right.
find out if it's Colton
Yeah.
or somebody else.
There you
One
go.
success.
Okay.
Awesome.
Cool. All right. So you got a success. And you're able to slip away. So how do you get away? Just like go out the window.
Well, I'm
situation?
waiting because it seems like the AV system is squelching all the time.
Mhm.
So I'm just listening at the door, like my two hands are against it. I have it cracked open slightly. I'm just waiting for another noise in the other room to push my way out and slip past.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So yeah, you've managed
in this
to slip
scene,
away.
dude. In the movie, I'm sorry that I'm this person, Adam.
Do it.
But in the movie version of this, like, Gygax is still telling these weird little vignettes and all this bullshit, and maybe he has a little poem or something, a little couplet about remembering and how adults are great.
No,
this type of
yeah,
shit.
he's got an acronym, right? That he has
Yeah.
going through. It's like so the H stands for, and then
Yeah,
it's AC, and then the last one's a 0 because zero danger. And so we'll go over it
Sucks.
again, kids. So
It
the
just
T is for
sucks.
Can't
Yeah.
All
believe we
right.
did
Anyway,
this.
so I'm
I
there.
can't believe we've done this, Adam.
I am 100% with my big sister, stand-in Quinn.
nice.
We got to get into this thing. Chip.
Do you want to get into the trunk? Do you want to get into the passenger door? He just proceeds to list all the locks on the.
If we can get into the
passenger door?
passenger door, we can pull the handle and the trunk should open.
Right
Oh,
side or left? Which passenger side?
Passenger side, so we can then get into the glove box.
Okay, but there's a passage. Is it a 2-door or 4-door?
It would be a 4, I think. Yeah.
Okay,
It's like
so
a sedan.
yeah. All right. I drop my backpack down.
Yeah.
Open it up. Tuck this errant cable from the keyboard that's always poking out. It's like a hop vine. Like it always wants to fucking escape. I'm gonna grab a small set of tools, probably made from wire, firm wire, copper thin. And I'm gonna try to pop one of these doors.
I'm just gonna be on watch while he does that.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to the side of the car that is away from the front door of the school.
Right. Sure.
And so what would you consider this? And is this Tinker?
It's Tinker. It says the manipulate. The Tinker skill can also be used to break, use, or jerry-rig mechanical things to pick locks and drive motor vehicles.
There you
I'm
go.
gonna jerry rig this thing.
Nice.
So I'll go for Tinker.
Okay.
Perfect. Fuck.
All right.
Fuck.
So
Okay,
no
wait, wait,
successes. Now you're the luckiest kid on the crew though, so you can
I
spend
am.
one of your luck points and reroll.
I'm
if you
gonna
want.
absolutely do that.
Okay.
So let me go. I should go and remove one of them. That point, right?
Yep.
Okay. 4, and then just roll it again.
Yeah, you just reroll it.
Are you
Oh.
kidding me?
I love it.
Unlucky.
I'm
All
actually
right.
totally overjoyed that this is the case. Actually,
So now your choice is to either push yourself or accept the inability to break into the agent's Gygax and Arneson's vehicle.
no, his entire identity is based around this. I can't. I have to push myself.
Okay.
So what's the condition you take?
Oh,
Can I
I'm
pitch?
angry.
Okay,
Yeah,
you're angry.
you roll
Okay.
and then take the condition.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You don't reroll with the condition. Yeah. So you'll reroll it, then take the condition. Either way. Okay.
Are you kidding?
Wow.
I'm so pleased. Like this is the best movie ever.
Okay. So what conditions you take and what does that look like when you're not able to break into these spooks' vehicle?
Oh man, I can just again, like I can just completely picture it, where I've gone through like, I mean, each time I've bent the tool I've pulled it back out. I've licked the tip of it, and I've tried to make it the right shape. And then last time I break it off once it's clear that I'm not able to do it. I actually just break it off and just twist it off in the lock.
Can I give him one extra helping die if I give him like a hair clip or something like
you can give one last chance.
tool.
You get a one
yeah. It's like
1 in
yours
6
breaks off,
chance.
and I'm like, we gotta hurry here, and I hand you a pin.
Okay, so just
if this works, Austin, this is where we pass through the gates into legend.
So you got a 1 in
all we
1 in
need is
6.
a 6. That's all.
1 in 6 chance. So you can just
I believe
/r space d6 in the chat box there. Or,
oh my God.
well, so
What's good?
so
Unbelievable.
all right. So there you go. So you take your condition. You got your
it's
roll
in
there.
that same way where it's like the cortisol is still there, so it's like I've solved it, but I'm still mad.
Nice.
Yeah,
Right.
right. You still get the condition, correct?
Yes, you still take the condition. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it gives you the roll. So, yeah. Okay. So you get it at that last moment with this help, this unorthodox help, and you're able to open the lock, and get into the car of these two agents. Yeah.
I'll let her handle that. Like I'm the intrusion expert, but as far as like digging around in there,
Oh yeah.
unless we need some kind of comprehend, I feel like this is the Quinn show.
Yeah, I'm now just gonna start digging through. My hope is we open the door and then we find like, manila envelopes on the seats, on the back seats.
Mhm,
We
the
find
classics.
maps. We have maps that have circles on them.
Yeah,
We have
yeah.
Little notepads that
So
just have
these-
suspects
I mean,
written
these
out or
guys-
whatever.
Yeah, these guys, they're just not like no one would break into their car. They're Americans in Canada. This country is just safe. And so they've left this envelope in the back seat along with like an attaché case or whatever. And yeah, it is very much like that. It shows Magic Estates. It shows the dark woods. It shows the pines. It shows the power plant. There's a bunch of property like blueprints and stuff for the area, surveys that the Nakatomi Industrial Concern had done before they started building.
Right.
And in this thing, in this bundle, you find a bunch of black and white photographs. They're 8x10s, or big black and white photographs. One of the photographs is of some trees that have been kind of like knocked aside. It looks very familiar. You can see these trees have been tipped to the side, their bark broken. You see the fur. Someone has taken a picture of a piece of fur. There's a photo of the fur, like in an envelope with some more like notes written on it. There is a photograph. The second to last one, as you flip it over, there's a photograph of a big footprint with one of those little like rulers, those black and white crime rulers. I don't know what they're actually called. Next to it, and it's like a meter long. Of course, it'd be an imperial. So it's like 3 feet long.
Right.
But it looks to me like mostly a human footprint. The toes are set a bit wider.
Hold on. But it's all in US measurements, right?
Right. It'd be in US measurements. So,
So in my mind, I'm doing the math, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, so do you say that when you see that it's an imperial? Do you tell her like,
absolutely.
that's about a meter?
Yeah.
Okay. That's ridiculously big.
And then the last photograph that you see is of what look like a bunch of like hunters. They're wearing the caps and the vests and the whole thing, and they're holding like rifles. And it's this posed photo of like, and this is a different quality. It's obviously not taken with the same camera. This one's maybe a color like 4x6, and it shows these three hunters. And there's a big pile of greenish gray fur lying at their feet, but it doesn't look dead. There's no blood. You can see that there's a tranquilizer dart sticking up out of it. And these three guys looking like proud of themselves, like, yeah, we bagged it.
Yeah, that's probably the first picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do the three guys look like?
They just look like hunters. They're just like three buddies,
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there more to find here, or have you given us the kind of?
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's
Adam.
the clues you're gonna find from here. But
Adam.
yes. Yeah.
Are there any telltale signs? Is there anything that would indicate in the picture that they are American or Canadian?
Yeah.
The hunters, because that would tell us if this thing went
Like-
over the border.
Does anyone have like a Vietnam, like what unit they were in
Oh,
Vietnam
yeah,
or something like that?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
So I think
airborne
that's
or
so
whatever.
good. So on all of their vests, they have the same like U.S. infantry like badge.
Insignia.
Yeah. No, that's
Okay.
great.
Okay, so it happened south, and they're
Yes.
here because their pet got out,
Right.
right?
They should have killed this thing.
It's just another fence. The border's just another
border-
fence.
yeah. Uh-huh. All right, we got to get out of here. Is there anything? Oh man, what? Can I just take a piece of the yellow legal pad paper and just like quickly start jotting down what's here, just like an inventory? 4 photographs. Blah blah blah.
No,
blah,
no,
blah,
dude,
blah.
this is the best. This is the best because just because of who Colton is, you're
Yeah.
gonna start writing it down, and I'll be like, I remember all of it. But after
like
it's all-
photographic
yeah,
memory.
it takes me
Right.
that long to figure out that you're writing information down because
Yes.
you can't remember it.
Right, exactly. And this is east, northeast, but it's
Yeah,
the stuff
exactly.
in this room. Yeah, or in this car.
I'll tell you a direction.
Yes.
It's like the way home, like from the first
yes.
problem.
Yes.
Right?
Totally.
They're
Perfect.
like south, southeast, west, south, southeast, north, or something like that.
Right. And then it's just like, I go home. It's like up in front of you is
It takes a second.
is the forest cache that you keep all of your inventory items in.
That's exactly right.
You got it.
And I just point at my temple.
Yeah, you do this,
Right.
and then we stand up, we close the door.
Mhm.
Then I open the door and lock the door and
Yeah,
close
exactly.
it again.
Yeah.
And I think that's
exactly.
our scene. I don't think
Yeah,
we
it's a
need
baller
anything else
scene.
there.
Yeah. So on the end of that scene, as the two of you share that moment, we cut back to the hall of the school. The assembly has let out, and we come in on the twins, and the two of you are leaving the assembly talking. What are the two of you talking about when you're leaving?
I mean, we noticed them leaving, right? Like,
I
that
mean,
would
I
be
think
the
so. I think you're
talk.
in on
Like,
on there.
We have to go find them. Where do you think they went? What, like I think maybe even my anxiety is kind of in come on, we have to go. Come on.
I mean, knowing Quinn, she's probably sneaking around somewhere trying to find something, but I don't know.
Well,
I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want us getting in trouble and sneaking around just going to make it worse.
We won't
we
get in
should just
trouble. We
wait
just
for
have to.
them.
We just have to find them.
We're
Everyone's
always in
leaving.
trouble. I know.
I think
but-
I actually like grab Aisha by the hand, and like as people are leaving, I kind of start just shoving through the crowd. Like we have to go find them.
Sure.
I
As
feel
you're-
like he
as you're
doesn't just
pushing-
like grab my hand though. He like pulls me enough that like my glasses start to fall off, and I'm like, oh, it's not a gentle like.
Right,
It's a
like,
big
come on.
brother
Yeah.
like, come
Right.
on,
Yeah.
like
Right.
yeah.
So I think as you're leaving, as you're getting out of the scene to go find your friends, we pass by. There's a group of girls, probably like a year younger than you, maybe a little more, somewhere between your age and Colton's age. One of them is sobbing, and the other 3 are like consoling her. And they're saying things like, "Oh, I'm sure she'll turn up, and she's such a good cat, and we'll make posters, and we'll put them up all over the
No.
neighborhood." And this girl is just crying, and she's like, she's not an outside cat. She keeps saying that, like she's an inside cat. And we get this. Maybe the characters don't notice it, but we hear this as you pass. And
I think
yeah.
maybe I even turned to Aisha and I'm like, "Do you hear that? A cat. There's more going on here." And like maybe like there's almost an excitement now that's driving. Like it went from anxiety to like there's actually something that we're figuring out and we have to go, right? So it switches almost from anxiousness to like, yeah, now there's a cat miss. Come on, we have to go.
Yeah, cool. And then we see you push through the doors. Instead of going back to your class, all the kids are starting to filter into class. You sneak out the door to go and find your friends, and that's when we cut to our break.
All right.
Getting close to the mystery. We're discovering the truth of what's going on. We will be right back after a short break with more role play one shot Tales from the Loop. Don't go anywhere, anybody.